Tonight on News 5 Live, another drug bust in Corozal district. This time, police discover 1 bale of cocaine in Sarteneja. The Prime Minister and Commissioner of Police disagree with Belize's designation as a drug transit country. What's the deal with 10,000 cases of Corona Bear entering the Belizean market? And remembering George Price on National Service Day. We'll bring you up to speed with today's headlines in 60 seconds.
Friday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center, the 10th annual Soca and Culture Fest, featuring the Byron Lee headliners, Jamaica's hottest dancehall artist Nige Boy and Mr. Vegas. Admission general $50, VIP $135, platinum $200, and the Racino's Import Skydeck $300. Friday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center, the 10th annual Soca and Culture Fest, featuring the Byron Lee headliners, Jamaica's hottest dancehall artist Nige Boy and Mr. Vegas. Be there.
Have you designed a project that protects and preserves our vital mangroves? Now's your chance to be recognized as a mangrove conservation champion. Join the Mangrove Friendly Development Challenge, a national competition celebrating innovative designs that enhance and preserve mangroves on private property. Developers, landowners, and other interested groups are welcome to register before October 15th, 2024. For more information, visit mangrovefriendlychallenge.org.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, September 19th. I am Sabrina Daly. Police made a major drug bust in Sarteneja village on Wednesday night. Personnel from the Mobile Interdiction Team and the Corozal Quick Response Team descended on the home of 35-year-old Armando Torres just after 9 o'clock and came across 25 parcels of cocaine amounting to 28 kilograms. Present at the time of the search were 36-year-old Merna Durantes, 32-year-old Delwin Novello, and 37-year-old Nigel Neal. Today, all 4 individuals were formally charged with possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. They were arraigned at the Corozal Magistrates Court, where Torres pleaded guilty with an explanation, while the others pleaded not guilty. No plea was entered for Torres. Here's Commissioner of Police Chester Williams with additional details.
The police in Corozal district, and in particular the Corozal police, along with some of the elements that we have currently deployed in the northern area as a part of our northern operations, conducted an operation yesterday or last night, sometime around 9 p.m. thereabout. In the Sartaneja area, the operation took them to a home where searches were conducted, and the search led to the discovery of 25 parcels of what we suspect to be cocaine. The cocaine was taken into police custody along with 4 persons who were found at the home. The 4 persons included 3 male and 1 female. At the Corozal police station, the suspected cocaine was weighed, and it amounted to just over 28 kilograms. Those persons, as I said, are in police custody and are expected to be charged today for drug trafficking.
All 4 individuals have been remanded to the Kobe Foundation until Friday, November 15th, 2024. Police also destroyed a marijuana field in the Rayburn Ridge community. They also discovered an additional 6 parcels of cocaine during an operation in Shanush village. Campo Williams gave us details on both operations.
We also recently destroyed a marijuana plantation in the Ravens Ridge area. I think Ravens Ridge will be in the Belize district, but falls under the Orange Rock jurisdiction from a police standpoint. Again, that operation was led by elements of the Belize Police Department, and it was based on information obtained. They visited the area and they found the plantation, and the plantation was destroyed. We also recently had a drug bust in Corozal district again, where 6 parcels of suspected cocaine were found at a house, I think in the Chinook village area. A number of persons were detained for that. 1 person pled guilty when the matter went before the court, and the case was withdrawn against the other. So it's an ongoing thing with our operation teams in the north. As you all would be aware, that we have the ongoing northern operations, which the government of Belize have invested a lot of money getting the resources that the police officers need to be able to execute our duties in that area.
The United States government has listed Belize as one of the countries used for major drug transit and illicit drug production for the fiscal year 2025. Other countries listed include the Bahamas, Costa Rica, and Haiti. This designation comes after evaluating the country's geographic, commercial, and economic factors that facilitate drug transit or production regardless of a government's commitment to drug control. We spoke with Prime Minister John Bersenio about the label, which he claims isn't an accurate representation of drug transit in the region.
How can you respond to other countries labeling Belize as a major transit point for illegal drug transport?
But that's not true. We have been working very closely with the United States government. We work very closely with Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico to try to discourage the use of Belize as a transit point. If you notice, since we got into government, the number of planes that have landed in Belize has decreased dramatically. Now, what has been happening now is that these drug lords, they have all the monies available in the world, and when you cover an area or you stop an area, they've tried to find another way. What they've been doing now, they've been using the high seas. So when they come through from South America, they would probably stop in area like that has a coastline like Costa Rica, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, probably Honduras, and then from there, then they go straight on to Mexico, then to the United States. So bus that Honduras did, I think it was probably about 2 tons, if I mention, of cocaine. Our people were tracking it, and I was keeping informed by the Minister of Defense and the Minister of National Security, Karim Musa. And they were tracking that, and then when the bust happened in the Honduras water, they were informed. So we are doing our part. Belize is not a transshipment point, not anymore, and but right now they're using the high seas, and they probably are going through the exclusive economic zone. We have gotten some drones, and we're hoping that we can get even bigger drones that can go even further. We're negotiating right now either with Taiwan or the United States to be able to get boats that can go all the way out there.
We also heard from the Commissioner of Police on the U.S. identifying Belize as a major drug transit or a major illicit drug producing country. Like the PM, Compal Williams says he does not accept the U.S. report.
I am sure that as members of the media, you no longer hear of drug planes landing in our country. So I wonder how that came about, because the truth is we have done a lot. Our government continue to invest in the police and the BDF and the Coast Guard to be able to ward off these drug traffickers from our country, and we have made significant progress. So when I read that report, I wondered myself what measuring stick they're using to be able to arrive at that conclusion. But it is their assessment of us. I don't accept it. I am sure that many Belizeans will not accept it.
Coming up, PM Briceño is not fazed by threats levied from Haitian gangs.
That'll be $50. Thank you. Wait, hey, this 50 is a fake.
Well, how do you know it's a fake?
What are you talking about, sir? How can I identify a genuine note from a fake note?
Well, a genuine 50 has a watermark with the jaguar and the written words of the 50, also a thread.
Know your money and know a fake one when you see it. Do not rely on any one security feature. Look for the clarity and quality of printing. The printed lines and colors should be sharp and clear. Feel the quality of the paper and the raised print. Hold the note up to the light to see the windowed security thread. It should form one complete line when held up to the light. The watermark and denominational electrotype. The jaguar is the watermark in the $100 and $50 notes. The sleeping giant is the watermark in the $20, $10, $5 and $2 notes. The see-through feature. The parts of the design printed on the back should fit exactly within the unprinted areas of the front to form the complete design. Check the $100 note for the toucan hologram with the periwinkle flower overprint. Tilt it to see the small images of the toucan and the numeral 100. Check the $50 note for the green foil angelfish. Check even closer. Use an ultraviolet light to see the fluorescent features. Use a magnifier to see the microlettering. Tiny letters that read, Central Bank of Belize, and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe. Be sure. Know your money.
Remember, not all light bulbs are created equal. Our lighting department offers a wide assortment of light fixtures and accessories to suit your style. So stop in today and get the right illumination for your homecation. And don't forget your B-Box when you make a purchase. Benny's, quality and savings.
At St. Catherine Academy, we're not just teaching history and science, we're preparing our young women for the future. Going cashless with DigiWallet isn't only about convenience, it's about safety and building a tech-savvy generation. St. Catherine Academy and DigiWallet are leading the way, showing that a secure and cashless campus is possible and beneficial to all. You should try DigiWallet yourself today and see what you've been missing.
Let us help you to empower your school with DigiWallet. Streamline payments, elevate efficiency. Celebrate Belize at 43 this Independence Day by staying in the city. Join us for the 21st Belize City Bash at the DigiPark. Bring out the entire family for a day packed with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, free treats for the kids, thrilling games, and giveaways. Live performances by Chico Ramos, Coconut Boy, Sweet Pain Band 3.0, Dimity Cultural Band, Hard Rock Songs, Next Gen Band, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Nello Player and the Red Zone, and Blue Steel Songs. So mark your calendars, Saturday, September 21st, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the DigiPark on Newtown Barracks. For more details on how to reserve a booth space, contact us at 280-2308, extension 263, or WhatsApp at 673-9055. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister John Bersenio addressed the country in his annual State of the Nation speech. In his presentation, the PM highlighted the growth of Belize's gross domestic product and made the announcement that Belizeans earning under $29,000 per annum will no longer pay income tax. On Wednesday, leader of the opposition Moses Shine Barrow delivered his response. Barrow countered by noting several businesses that have failed to keep their doors open in recent years, as well as the rate of income tax paid by civilians in comparison to corporations. We asked the Prime Minister for a response to these claims. Here's what he had to say.
I would just smile and leave him as it is. I think he lives in his own world, and it's best. It takes two to, as you say, to tango, or But so it's best to leave him there by himself. I think people have seen the work, people are feeling the work of the tremendous work that our government has been doing. More people are working, less people are in poverty. With the changes of the income tax regime, we're allowing even more people going into the middle class. The increase of the minimum wage to go to $5. That in itself, like you said, a tide rises all ships. So raising up to $5, the people that were working at $5, their salaries have gone up. So it has had a chain, not but a chain effect, because it's spreading out. We are living in a much better place than we were in November of 2020.
On Wednesday, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams issued a release refuting claims made by Leader of the Opposition Moses Shine Barrow in his State of the Nation address. As we reported, Barrow said that murders were up by 40% year to date. Compal Williams contended that, in fact, murders are down by 1%. Today, he told reporters that the opposition leader is insane for blaming the police and government for crimes being committed.
I find it strange that my friend, the leader of one of the opposition, I think they have two, right, tend to speak of crime and equate the occurrences of crime to the ineffectiveness of the police or the government. As a person who had in the past committed a crime and convicted of a crime, I am sure that he could attest that despite the fact that the US is a first world country, they possess all the technology to be able to fight crime and prevent crime, he was still able to commit a crime for which he was convicted. And I am sure that he didn't blame the police in the US for the crime he committed. Neither did he blame the government of the US for the crime he committed. He took responsibility for it. So for him to now try to blame the police or the government for a crime being committed is rather insane.
On Wednesday, opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow explained his decision to abstain from voting on a motion to celebrate 35 years of diplomatic relations with Taiwan. He explained that he is currently dissatisfied with the nation. We asked Prime Minister John Briceño for a response to the opposition leader's claims. He told News 5 that as Belize and Taiwan have been in similar situations, there is a moral obligation to continue to support each other.
Can you respond to the leader of the opposition's continued stance on Taiwan?
I don't have time to waste with the leader of the opposition. I think it's shameful the way he's behaving. It is obvious that what he's trying to do is trying to intimidate. And it's sad because Taiwan has been a very trusted ally of Belize. They've been a good friend of Belize. And they are where we were before 1980, 81, when every year we're asking all our friends to speak out, to say that they support Belize. Every year we used to pass resolutions in the United Nations for support for independence, and I believe that we have a moral obligation to be able to support Taiwan, because at the end of the day I believe that people should have a right to self-determination in any country. And like Belize, we said Belizeans should determine their destiny, whether they want to stay as a colony or want to be a part of Guatemala, or Belizeans that overwhelmingly we said we want to be a free and independent nation. Taiwan should also be given that opportunity for their people to decide what should be their destiny.
Last week, 2 Belize Defense Force officers arrived in Haiti to assist with the United Nations Security Council resolution, which facilitates collaboration among CARICOM countries to restore security in Haiti. The mission was put together to establish conditions for free and fair elections. In response, Haitian gang leaders have come forward to warn Belize and other CARICOM allies not to intervene. We asked Prime Minister John Briceño for a response to the threats.
You know, Belize is trying very hard to assist Haiti in their relief efforts, but the gang leaders of Haiti have threatened Belize, which has offered to send soldiers. How are we navigating this?
Well, I don't think that the Haitian gangs have any gangs in Belize. I don't give it too much attention. I think that our brothers and sisters in Haiti need help. I think it's tragic what's going on, the lawlessness that have overtaken Haiti. And we need to do our little part. I mean, we're not going to send 1,000 soldiers. Right now, what we did is send 2 soldiers to look at the logistics and see if we will go to the next point. There's a 10-point list that the Minister of Defense have brought to Cabinet and said until these 10 points are met, we will not send any of our soldiers into Haiti.
During his State of the Nation address earlier this week, Prime Minister John Briceño highlighted the decrease inflation rate as one of the successes of his administration. He said inflation has fallen from 6.3% to 3.8% since 2022. However, in response, Belize City residents claim that they have not observed the decrease and complained about the high cost of living. We asked the Prime Minister for a response to these complaints. Here was his response.
Some people do not agree that inflation is down, though, sir. A lot of people, I know you mentioned this, but what can you say to those people that are disputing that?
I understand what they're saying. The prices indeed have gone up from 2020, but when you look at the rate of inflation, you compare to the previous year, not to 2020. So the last year, the inflation rate was over 4%, and now it's down to about 3%. But 3% of last year, not of 2020. So yes, the prices are still high, and we're hoping that with time and competition, the prices are going to come down even more. The issue of price gouging, it exists, and wherever we find that, we try to act as best as we possibly can.
While shoppers disagree with Prime Minister Briceño that there has been a 2.5% decrease in inflation since 2022, President of the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Catherine Main, told News 5 today that there are several variables that factor into the inflation rate. Tied very closely to that, she explained, is the issue of importation.
If you look at the statistics just generally, just what's out there and you can pull, inflation has plateaued. Nonetheless, there is effects that are coming into play. Examples. Sometimes what you're looking at is there is older stock that has now finished and newer stock has come into play if it's a commerce-related matter, right? Now, additionally, it could be a demand and supply component as well, right? So there's lots of angles that can cause that, whether it's all directly connected to external effects. We'll have to continue to evaluate and see. Nonetheless, I would say for us, we need to look at the fact that the more we are dependent on external sources, for instance, for food and packaging, the more we're going to have these sort of effects where inflation comes in and can increase prices in a very unpredictable way.
After the break, Belize on Real looks at cricket in the River Valley. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Buenos días. 2 boletos para Ticacas, por favor. ¿Ida y vuelta? 54. Ese dinero es falso. ¿Falso?
Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad avantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de 20, 10, 5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro, conozca su dinero.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Perhaps the saying by Sir Thomas More that to be humble to superiors is a duty, to equals a courtesy, to inferiors nobility best describes Dr. Roy Young. A resident of Bermudian Landing, Young is highly educated and in his own way continues to provide for students who need to advance in school. He is carrying on with his parents' dream of managing a resort, But with all of this, he has a tenacious love for the sport of cricket. Young sat with us for this week's edition of Belize on Reel and explained how he managed to juggle it all and how he never let go of the sport and why it's important to revive cricket among youth. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
What I'm trying to do is to, along with others in the area, is to try to grow the area, to improve the area, to see all of our young people come up differently.
He is the owner of the nature resort situated behind the Community Baboon Sanctuary building in Bermudan Landing. But what many people do not know is that Dr. Roy Young is also president of the Belize National Cricket Association, a retired educator, a consultant, and a mentor to youths in the area. He came from humble beginnings.
I born in this village. I born just months before Hurricane Haiti, and our house blew down by the school, and so my parents, they moved out the side. So we were one of the first out the side of the village, and so we live here as like all other people in the rural. I was the only son in the family, so I had to cut firewood, beat rice, and do those kinds of things. And my grandmother was my direct neighbor, so I also do those things for her.
In 1979, a terrible flood made traveling between Bermudan Landing and Belize City impossible. It was for him the imprint for his life's path, never letting go of agriculture and the environment. But right along with that defining moment was his love for the sport of cricket.
As young people in the Belize River Valley, we always have time for cricket. We will find that. So I played as a young person. I played while I was at St. John's College in the high school team. And then I played at the village level when I came out here to teach. Our summer fever team was a very good team.
It was during this Halicon days that Young's path crossed with Felix Sutherland, a resident of Lemonal. The two shared quite a few things in common, including a love for cricket. Theirs would be a friendship that Sutherland says blossomed from then and lasts to this very day.
I went in as a student at Belize Teachers College, where he taught me REAP. REAP is an acronym for relevant. It began as Rural Education for Agricultural Production, but realizing how the worth of such program, they quickly changed the rural to relevant education in an effort to offer more schools. As a result of relevant, it was offered to urban schools as well. So he was my REAP lecturer, and we have been friends ever since. He is always one to give positive advice. He is always one to demonstrate. He teach by modeling what he would like to see. So he has had a profound influence on my life. I am his first son, godfather. So we are also compadre. Presently, Roy is the president of Belize National Cricket Association. I am the chairman of the dispute committee for the Belize National Cricket Association. So wherever there's Roy, I am maybe a two-step behind. Or wherever I am, he may be two-step behind.
Young says that while he no longer plays competitively, he still takes the field, and it's always a rejuvenating feeling.
I do play on what we call a over 50. For those players who are 50 years and older. So we had a nice tournament last time. The National Sports Council came out. The Department of the Youth Department came out. So we have a blast.
Young says as president of the association, he wants to revive the dying sport.
That's part of our mandate. Right now we have a team from Carmelita, which is in Orange Walk. We used to have a team from Belmopan. And so our effort to change that is to introduce cricket to the primary schools. So just before COVID, we had teams of coaches going out to the schools, or to 5 schools in Kaya, to teach them about cricket.
In 2018, Young led the Belize cricket team to a regional competition and explained why it was so important for people to learn the game.
For people to know about cricket in Belize, we want to start with the awareness. And a lot of people don't want to play the game because they're scared of the ball. There are different versions of the ball. There are tennis ball, there are softballs, and so on. So we have our females also playing now, and they played a slightly similar ball to the hard ball.
Felix Sutherland says that although his friend has been successful in education, in his career, and in sports, he never let any of it breed arrogance.
Speaking about Roy and putting him in the spotlight is not something that I would have envisioned, because he's always unassuming. He is so quiet. He's always reserved and would never be heard loudly, except whenever his professional or scholastic aptitude are requested of him.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
The government of Belize recently authorized over 10,000 cases of Corona bear to be imported into the country. The volume of the shipment raised concerns among local brewers about the impact that the flood of Mexican bears would have on the Belizean market. Prime Minister John Briceño explained that the importation is due to a shortage of local bear at a time of high demand. Here's more on that.
1,000 cases, and not a single bottle has been imported yet. They just issued or about to issue the permit to import it. What has been happening that there has been a shortage of Bellicane, there's been a shortage of Coca-Cola in the market. I mean, I got a message from one of my constituents yesterday saying, here we're the 21st and we are short of soft drinks and beer, and this is a time when we can sell. And I've been in touch with the CEO, with Mr. Michael Bowen, an excellent businessman and Belizean, and he is saying that they have increased the production and sales have increased, but it seems because of the growth of the economy, we've been growing very, very fast. It's been difficult to catch up, so there's some shortages. Is that a policy that we want to go down to? I don't think so. I don't think that's a policy that we want to support local industry, but if from time to time there's a shortage, we may need to consider on the short term to allow that to come. We are still looking at the issue of the Corona bear, and probably quite likely at the next cabinet, probably it will come up for discussion.
Belize's biggest brewery, Broen & Bowen, has expressed disappointment with the government of Belize for granting a permit to another private company to import 10,000 cases of Corona bear from Mexico. And while the PM says it's to meet growing demands, B&B says they do not have a shortage of bears. Today, the company's corporate relations manager, Rosana Villanueva, spoke with us on the matter.
It came to our attention recently as well. And I can't express how deeply disappointed we are at what seems to be some sort of shift in policy, Marian. For us at Bowen & Bowen, it seems to us that there's no effort being made to protect Belizean industry with a move like this. If you try to cross the border to Mexico with even one case of beer, you'll have to pour it out. And the reason for that is that the Mexican government is protecting its industries. So, for us, it just seems as though there's the lack of that passion to protect Belizean industry as well. As well, we've heard one of the rationales for this is something about supplying the tourist industry, which that makes there's no logic in that, because if someone comes to Belize to visit Belize, they want to drink a Belizean beer, they're not going to want to drink a Mexican beer. So, that doesn't make any sense to us. It's just very disappointing that something like this has even been considered, or seems to be happening at this point. There's no shortage. A couple months ago, we did have production issues, which, we were very open with the media. We shared that with the media, what we were dealing with. But our supply has stabilized. We have all our bears being produced in the market. There's no shortage as such right now. If it's a matter of variety, Boyne and Boyne produces, a wide range of bear brands. We also import some bears from CARICOM. So it's not a matter of lacking variety or anything, in the country. But yes, we are supplying the country. Our bears are being produced. So there's no shortage.
If you've gone to the store to purchase sugar or flour recently, you may have noticed a store policy limiting the quantity that one family can purchase at a time. As recently as today, 88 Shopping Center in Belize City limited the amount of flour to 5 pounds per family and sugar to 2. This led shoppers to wonder whether Belize is experiencing a sugar shortage. We spoke with the Supplies Control Unit, which clarified that the limit is not due to a shortage, but rather the trend of buyers purchasing large amounts to sell illegally outside the Belize market. This was reiterated by Prime Minister John Briceño, who told us that the government is attempting to combat the issue.
I don't think there should be a sugar shortage, but yes, I think what has been happening is that Belize sugar industries have been trying to manage the amount of sugar that we put out in the market to ensure that it's not being sold illegally or contraband into Guatemala and to Mexico. The price difference is way too great. And so, and we have to try to find how we can not take it to that level, but to try to find a kind of an equilibrium where it will make it more difficult to contraband. We have a very porous border, so it'd be difficult to monitor. But no, there's no sugar shortage, and we continue to work with BSI to ensure that we get sugar onto the market.
So I understand that, but for the stores to prohibit people from buying more than 2 pounds at a time, isn't that a bit ridiculous of an ask?
Well, I really don't know. I can't comment because I don't know, but I think we'll have to try to. I'll ask the minister responsible for supplies control, is also the Minister of Agriculture, to take a look into it.
The Prime Minister also had good news for people who earn less than $29,000 per annum. He said that effective January 1st, persons who fall in that bracket will no longer pay income tax. But while that is good for those in the working class, how will the government fill the void that is created by that adjustment? That is a question that the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry is also asking.
That is a question that, of course, all of us are asking. That is a question that the government has to answer. But that's a question where we are hoping to be able to collaborate with the government on that. Now, we certainly can see the benefits when we, from our members continuously, when we speak to members, we hear the challenges of where the income tax as it is and at that threshold has not necessarily helped to build productivity from within. So we're looking forward to that. Now, you're right. There's the other side of the game, and how can we collaborate with the government to ensure that the revenue neutrality angle does not negatively affect another side of the game, or that cycle, another piece of the pie, whatever you want to say, and will that negative effect be more dramatic than the positive that comes into it?
On Wednesday, Business Senator Kevin Herrera said that the shortage of labor that BPO companies are currently experiencing suggests that the Prime Minister's comments on unemployment are indeed so. The PM, using figures published by the Statistical Institute of Belize earlier this year, stated that unemployment was down to 3%. Today, the president of the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who is the general manager of a BPO, also agreed that the numbers must be reflective of a low unemployment rate. She added that it's good when an industry has grown to a point where there is need for further development. Such is the case with the BPO sector. Maine is of the view that there is now need for some intervention by the Ministry of Education to take the training of BPO agents and employees one step further.
The BPO sector has been an amazing contributor towards the Belizean economy. Part of that is the diversity angle, right? BPOs also play a role, just like the tourism industry, agriculture, etc., etc. I think that BPOs offer, in general, for Belizeans across the board, a professional environment, fair wages, and it also offers an opportunity for career growth and development. Now, we are currently seeing that the unemployment rate is low, and of course, that connects to the continued growth of this sector, especially this sector that is very much connected to labor, right? Because the labor is really the bones, the heart, the assets. And what we are hoping to do and what we see as the solution going forward is really trying to collaborate and connect. We have our BPO members that are asking us for support with training and development, professional skills, and we also want to collaborate and connect and encourage the government to do the same, because one, there's opportunities from within for movement upwards through professional development, training, etc. There's also these opportunities where we can also prepare for the future. So we can work with the Ministry of Education to talk about what is the potential campaigns and what are the opportunities coming into the longer term, and how can we connect that to the educational curriculum.
When we return, guns for freedom as SOE comes to an end.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
It's that time of year again. Time to celebrate being Belizean and do it in style. Enjoy incredible discounts on our wide selection of vibrant colors like 15% off Berger, Penta, and domestic decorative paints store-wide, 25% off Penta Decon Matte Emulsion, and 25% off select Penta Flat Emulsion, Weather Shield, and High Gloss paints. Plus, 25% off select Berger 303, 404, and Everglow paints, 30% off Valspar paints, 40% off all Dutch Boy paints, And up to 40% off discontinued and clearance colors. 20% off all Pistoforte tiles, all mirrors, and Eureka vats. Plus, major discounts on clearance items. So don't miss out on these amazing deals. Come in today or contact us online. Brothers Habet wishes all Belizeans home and abroad a happy and safe September celebrations.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added on for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix add-on for only $28.13 more. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
I say to you that there is a dire global health challenge at our gates in the global south. We have experienced an exponential rise in cardiovascular disease, chronic respiratory and infectious diseases, cancer, diabetes, air pollution, mental health challenges, malnutrition, and all of this while the climate crisis has impacted us and our environment and will continue to do so. We, the citizens of the Caribbean, are faced with a simple choice. What will our future be?
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
The state of emergency that has been in effect for the past 90 days across portions of Belize City and the Cayo District will expire in 5 days. So will the SOE be extended for an additional period? Commissioner Williams says it's an option that's still on the table. But he says that the police department has worked out a deal with these alleged gang members, a trade-off of sorts. Here's how he puts it.
I met with the people under the SOE 2 days ago, and I have laid the cards on the table for them. They all said that they want this gang issue to stop. They want to be released and come home to their families, and I said to them, if they can see how peaceful the country has been since they were detained, it simply goes to show that they were the problem. They conceded to that and pledged that coming out of prison, if the SOE is not extended, they will work with the programs that we have in place. But Nuri has committed to work with them continuously to see how he can help them to overcome whatever issues they may have. And I said to them, the same way how you all can live together in prison, why can't you live this way when you're out on the streets? You don't need to be in prison to learn to live this way. And they agreed. But the important thing I said to them was that since you so want to change your life, you don't want to go back to the gang life you used to live, you don't want to go back to the shooting and killing of others, then surrender your guns. You don't need it. You're no longer a gang member. Surrender your guns. They agreed that they're going to surrender their guns, so we'll see how that goes.
The Professional Standards Branch is investigating a police constable and a corporal from the Benque Viejo police station. The 2 officers allegedly misappropriated $1,000 from the Belize Police Department. Compal Williams told reporters what the investigation has revealed so far.
There was some situation where a lady was supposed to be hired to cook for some summer camp that the police had. And the lady was charging, I think, $1,000 to do the cooking. That was agreed upon. And then 2 days before the date of the cooking, the police officers told the lady that she would not be needed to cook anymore. But the money will still be sent to her. And they told her that once the money is sent to her, she must transfer the money to their account. The money did came to the lady account, And on the instruction of the police, the money was sent to one of the police officers' account. So that matter is with PSB, and PSB will deal with that matter adequately.
On Wednesday night, we told you that the president of NIAB, Pastor Victor Hernandez, has been arraigned on 2 counts of sexual offenses, including rape and sexual assault. Hernandez is currently out on bail. According to the Commissioner of Police, the alleged victim made a report some time ago, but the police were unable to get her to cooperate fully because she feared for her life. He noted that police moved on the arrest based on directives from the office of the DPP.
From what I was told by the acting OC of the Toledo Police Formation, is that this report was made to the police some time ago. But there was no cooperation or minimal cooperation coming from the complainant due to fear from threats that she had received. Eventually she came forward and gave a full account of what may have transpired. And so the police had sent the matter to the DPP representative in the South for advice. And having reviewed the file, the evidence on file, he advised the police to proceed with the charges against the pastor, and the police acted accordingly. It is extremely sad because those of us who are in public, who has authority and are in public life, where people depends on us, people relies on us, people trust us. When we breach the trust of the people that trusted us, then that is something that we have to be concerned about. A pastor is a person of eminence in society, and when a pastor is accused of rape, it will certainly cause for concern, not just for that community, but the whole country.
The Professional Standards Branch has launched an investigation into the death of 26-year-old Belmopan resident Daniel Cal. He died at the Western Regional Hospital after being held in police custody for 4 days. An autopsy report revealed that he died from respiratory complications. Well, Compal Williams says that several administrative breaches have been identified, including the fact that Cal did not have to remain in the holding cell for more than a few hours.
We can say with certainty that there may be no criminal culpability on the part of the police. But as the investigation is unfolding, we are seeing where some of our administrative measures were breached. And so those police officers who caused the breach of our administrative measures will have to answer administratively. One such thing is that Mr. Kahal need not to have been in police custody beyond the Friday. He could have gone to court. Why keep him in custody longer than it was necessary to do so? So whoever was responsible to have ensured he had gone to court the Friday will have to answer why that did not occur. But if what the family is saying that they had visited the station to see him and the police did not allow them to see him, the police can be wrong and they can be right. We do have visitation hours at the station. We can't have a system where people walk in anytime I want to see a prisoner. So we have to look to see if that was during visitation hours. But if the family would have come and say, I'd like to see my loved one because we know he suffered from XYZ and they catch him every so often, which would then trigger something in the mind of the police. Let's make a check on him. So we have to look at what exactly was said to the police by the family members when they alleged that they visited the station with a view to want to see him.
Was there any explanation for the gash on the head?
I believe that it was caused from a seizure, and when he fell, the bar in the cell block may have hit his head.
The past few days have been a struggle for residents of Belize City who have been grappling with the sudden flooding in the area. Despite minimal rainfall, several inches of water have found their way into homes and businesses. On Wednesday, Deputy Mayor Alan Pollard explained that while the Belize City Council is working to reduce the flooding, climate change is difficult to counteract. Prime Minister Bersenio told News 5 that the government is seeking long-term solutions to the issue.
This flooding that's happening here, we know that there's work being done to try and reduce it, but the pumping, as we mentioned yesterday from Deputy Mayor, is not enough. So what other work are we doing to sort of hinder this flooding?
That's a million-dollar question. And why do I say that? Well, simply because we're living the sign of the time, the issue of climate change. And as these floodings are not going to improve, they're going to get worse with time. And unfortunately, that's what we're facing. Belize is in the probably top 10 countries that are most vulnerable to climate change. And that is why we have been going around internationally trying to put pressure on the countries that are causing this, because the temperatures of the planet is increasing. And as it increases, then the north and the south caps are melting, all the ice there, and as more water pours into the oceans tend to rise, and low-lying areas like Belize, especially Belize city in particular, water's going up. I just drove down north from Sheet, and you could see the river is up. How can you pump that out, and to where? Because even the sea is up. So we have to try to find how best we could mitigate against it, and we have to take a harder look, a more long-term approach.
Up next, George Price's Pigstock Street residence to be transformed into a digital learning space.
And I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer with these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
So the doctor has given me 5 days off. How do I get paid from Social Security? This is how Social Security works for sickness benefits. First, you must check that you qualify. You must be employed when you got sick. Have made 50 paid contributions. Have made 5 paid contributions within 13 weeks immediately before getting sick. To ensure that your processing goes smoothly, be sure to complete and submit your claim form within 14 days of the first day of illness. Thanks, I get it now.
Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
We love our cars. They take us where we need to go and allow us to explore, work, and even make memories. RFNG Insurance prides itself in offering coverage options for you. We are pleased to reintroduce our Super Act policy. Drive with confidence, knowing that you are protected on both public and private roads. Experience outstanding service and reliable protection that is tailored to your budget. WhatsApp us at 670-8700 or visit an agent near you to learn more. Remember, it pays to get it right with RFNG Insurance, a Road Group company.
Battlefield Park now has a new feature that will be very hard to miss. It's a 16-foot bronze statue of the Right Honorable George Cadle Price in downtown Belize City. It is the tallest full-body statue ever erected in the country. The figure was unveiled on the eve of the National Service Day. It is celebrated in remembrance of the death of the Father of the Nation 13 years ago. A wreath-laying ceremony is held annually in his honor. News 5's Paul Lopez attended the statue unveiling as well as the wreath-laying ceremony. He filed the following report.
At 16 feet 7 inches, it is the tallest full-body bronze statue ever erected in Belize. The statue of Right Honorable George Cadle Price, the Father of the Nation, was unveiled on Wednesday night inside Battlefield Park, immortalizing the country's first premier.
I think the most important aspect of it is that the legacy, the memory, what George Price left us lives on. And I think that is why, as a family, we are always excited by these types of events.
Today is no doubt one that will immortalize in my personal books as I get to enjoy the privilege of standing before this statue that is but a small scale of the giant of a man that it honors. I did not get to enjoy the luxury of walking the boulevards, the Picado roads, and trekking muddy trails with him. But still, I've always been fascinated by the second-hand accounts of his signature diplomatic feats.
The sculpture was commissioned by Minister of Tourism Anthony Mahler and formed by Stephen Okeke. It depicts Price in his famous choir bearer, with a copy of the Belize Times in his left hand, while his right hand is raised high, a symbol of his friendly wave.
Uncle George worked and served by example. His attendance at daily mass at the cathedral spoke to us of his devotion to and love for our Creator, and encouraged us to do the same, to recognize primero Dios, that God should come first in our lives. His picking up of litter and disposing of it properly as he walked to work in Belmopan was a lesson to all of us to do the same, to realize that if the leader of the country was not too big to do such a trivial task, then every one of us should love our country and care for the environment as he did.
Price passed away at 92 years old on September 19, 2011. The plaque at the base of the statue reads, quote, "He led a life of service to this nation and its people as our Father of the Nation. His legacy continues to inspire as we strive for progress and unity," end quote. September 19th is now observed across the country as National Service Day. On this day, an official wreath-laying ceremony is held at his tomb inside the Lordridge Cemetery.
We come together each year to celebrate National Service Day in honor of the Father of our nation, our great leader, the Right Honorable George Price. And it is both right and proper that we, on this day, reflect on the great legacy of George Price, the great life of service of George Price.
Today's wreath-laying ceremony saw the attendance of Dame Froila Salam, the Governor General of Belize, government officials, the leader of the opposition, Moses Shine Barrow, and members of the Price family. Primary school students from several Belize City schools were also on hand to witness the ceremony. St. Catherine Academy students recited excerpts from his speeches.
State of the Nation 1980. We are a people, and we can do more when we are united.
because in union are the power and strength to arise, unite, and build. We ask the continued support of the Belizean people, and we ask the help of the Almighty and Eternal God, who, in the book of Genesis chapter 11, verse 6, said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have all one language, and this is only the beginning of what they will do, and nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them to do."
The Belize Defense Force Band played several of George Price's favorite hymns during the ceremony, as those in attendance reflected on his life and legacy, a statue in his honor, and a gathering to remember his service to the nation. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Just a few days away from Belize's 43rd anniversary, the National Institute of Culture and History has announced that the residence of Belize's first Prime Minister, George Cadle Price, will be restored and transformed into a public learning space. The restoration is part of NICH's effort to preserve Belize's history and culture. News 5's Brittany Gordon was at the event for the historic announcement.
To some people, the house at number 3 Pickstock Street may seem completely ordinary, a simple construction of wood and metal. But to those who know the history, it is the heart of the anti-colonial movement in Belize. It is the birthplace of Belize's first Prime Minister, George Cadle Price, and now it is being transformed into a beacon of public education.
I think that's it's important for us as Belizeans to really have a true appreciation of our history and what George Price has done for us. And I know we refer to him as the father of the nation, but it's more than just saying it, but seeing it and understanding the whole history. And we felt that that niche, and certainly Minister Fonseca, felt that it would be important if we could somehow work with the Price family to preserve this building where Mr. Price grew up. And so the idea is to be able to preserve it, work with niche, open it to the public so that could, especially our young people could see the humble beginnings of this great man, and to learn about his life and learn what he did, what he went through, how he lived, and what were his formative years like. And hoping that it could kind of have some kind of impression, especially in the lives of our young people. So to me, it's historic what we're doing today.
Inside the wooden walls, the People's Committee was formed around what is referred to as the Table of Revolution, initiating the colonies' first movement against the British colonies. The house is more than just Price's childhood home. It is where letters to the King of England and the United Nations advocating for Belize's self-determination were drafted.
This has been going on for some time. The Price family is a very private family, and it took some convincing to tell them that what we want to do is to preserve this. We believe this is a historic landmark, and hoping to try to keep the floor where Mr. Price lived pretty much the way it was when he was alive. I visited in a number of occasions. It was very Spartan. That remember just a round table, small round table. I'm told that is where they signed some of the agreements way back in the early 50s when they were working on the constitution for the PUP and even working on the flag and so many things. A lot of history is in that house.
The National Institute of Culture and History will guide the process of restoring the house into a digitally connected public classroom, an immersive learning space, while the yard is transformed into a botanical and sculptural garden. One of Price's family members, Mamie Martinez, spoke about the significance of the home to her family.
Having served on the board of directors of NICH, I know for sure that NICH is the right organization to be entrusted with this precious home of ours. And we have Aunt Betsy's blessing, who is still with us for guidance. We all have so many wonderful memories of this home and of our parents and aunts and uncles and the times we spent here.
The house has strong ties to the history of Belize, but the legacy of the Price family also lives on inside. Martinez recalls the fond memories of her childhood there.
This home was where I was told that my dad asked our grandmother Mamacita to save one of her daughters for him when he went off to serve in the Royal Air Force in World War II. There's a lot of history. I remember having wonderful Saturday afternoon visits with Uncle George while Mom and Aunt Sue had tea and listened to classical music. There are so many stories.
The restoration of the home is about more than just the structure. It is a part of Niche's continued effort to use physical spaces and digital platforms for education. Prime Minister John Briceño emphasized the importance of remembering the life George Price lived in its simplest form.
He had no computer, he had no TV, he had a shortwave radio and a small, simple bed. And so I'm told that they want to keep it the way it was so that then people can come and have an appreciation to see the kind of life that Mr. Price lived. He lived for Belize, and as he said, you know, his family was Belize, his children were Belize, and everything that he did it for love of the country, for love of people, and the little that he collected, he used to give it back to the people.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.